What's going on, everybody? It's John with ACTION-FLIX.com, welcoming you to another episode, if you will, of the Action-Fix podcast. And we are going trailer tactical on this edition of the Action-Fix podcast. As you can see from that opening salvo, we are going to be talking about director William Kaufman's latest, coming out next month, July, OSIRIS, the military-tinged actioner sci-fi extravaganza, which has an elite squad of special forces commandos doing battle with a relentless, ruthless alien race. That's right. How much fun is this going to be? Oh, I can't even begin to suspect. I'm pretty sure it's going to check all the boxes and scratch all of our itches for everything that is carnage, mayhem, bullets, tracer fire, explosions, aliens running around killing unfortunate commandos until there's only maybe one, maybe two left. Who knows? We may have a final boy and a final girl in this one. All right, so let's get started. We are talking about, that's right, you know him, you love him, director William Kaufman. Here's the thing. I have a relationship, if you will, with director William Kaufman. I have talked to him numerous times. He's been a big supporter of my website, as I've been a big supporter of his at the same time. One of the most prominent, prolific indie action directors, filmmakers, if you will, because, you know, he does it. He just doesn't direct. He writes, he produces, he does it all. So he's delivered some of the greatest action films in the I don't want to say I say indie and direct to video, and that has, sometimes people think that has a negative connotation to it. It doesn't. I don't care if it's direct to video. I don't care if it's indie. I don't care if it's a big budget blockbuster. As long as it's a kick-ass flick, who cares? It's like, and here's the thing. William Kaufman is one of those filmmakers that knows how to do a lot with a little. That's right. His budgets aren't that big, of course. His time frames to film these movies aren't like what you would see in a Disney film, if you will. So it's like what they do. That's why I am more adept to love these movies, because what they can do with these movies is insane. That is right. And just let me go over real quick the intro. A lot of people have been saying, hey, John, why is Scott Adkins always in your intros? Why not? I mean, I know we're not talking Scott Adkins this time around, but you know what? I think it gets you pumped up. If you see Scott throwing down from his movie One More Shot, it's kind of like him and me introducing the video. So that's why Scott's around every time that I do a Action Fix podcast. Plus, he's been super awesome to me, and he's going to be super awesome to me again in the future. So I support him whenever chance I get. So why not do a little, you know, flashbang throwing? That's right. Little fight with some knives. That's right. Because he's Scott Adkins. I'm sure William Kaufman would agree, because he's worked with Scott numerous times in the past. So, you know, why not? It's like, there you go. All right. But we're going to be talking about OSIRIS. Yes, that's what we're here to talk about today. And I'm going to make it teeny tiny, because that way, hopefully YouTube does not ding me for copyright infringement, which I still do not understand. These movies and trailers get shared all over the place on YouTube. But yeah, we as podcasters, we're trying to do, you know, things with promotion and getting these movies out here, because obviously, like movies like Mission Impossible Final Reckoning doesn't need my help. Although it should, maybe it did, because it didn't make as much money as everybody wanted it to. I still haven't seen it yet, just because of time problems and work and stuff like that. But these movies I try to really focus on, because these are the independent action genre, you know, and they don't have the money to promote these movies, you know, like Disney or 20th Century Films or Warner Brothers does. So that's why I'm a champion for these movies. And sometimes these are better than what you get on the big screen. My only problem is a lot of times these movies get released in select cinemas as well as digital and video on demand before they hit their DVDs and Blu-ray, you know, physical media releases, but they never come out near me. I want them to come out near me, so that way I can go to the cinema, support it even more, and see it on the biggest screen possible. But I have a pretty big screen at home, but not as big as if you would go to the cinema and check it out. All right, so I digress. Let's move on. Let's talk about OSIRIS. We are going to watch the trailer, and I swear to ever-loving God that this is a kick-ass film. This is a blind buy, if you will. Okay, I said this before in the past. This is a blind buy. That means I have not seen this movie, and as soon as I'm able to purchase it and pre-order it, I am going to. I'm sure I would get a screener for this movie, but I'm still going to support it. And the most recent example of that is Diablo, starring Scott Adkins and Marco Zawar. I got sent a screener well in advance of the movie's release. I watched the screener like 3 or 4 times because, one, to get ready for all my interviews that I did for the movie, but also because I loved it. I wanted to watch it as many times as possible. And then, of course, I bought it when it came out on digital. It's not available on physical media, but when it is, I am definitely going to pick it up too and, support it as well. But before we watch the trailer, as you can see, I have it queued up. Let's talk about the film a little bit more. The synopsis for OSIRIS reads, and I got my trusty notes here on my iPad. Special Forces commandos are abducted mid-operation, if you will, by a mysterious spacecraft. And upon awakening, team up with a mysterious woman played by Linda Hamilton, who's rocking an awesome accent in this, and a fight for survival against a relentless alien race. That's right. So besides Max Martini, who stars in this, we all know Max Martini from The Unit, 13 Hours. Of course, he was in William Kaufman's The Channel with Clayne Crawford and Linda Hamilton. The standout cast includes Brianna Hildebrand, LaMonica Garrett, Michael Irby, Linz Edward, and Jaron Mitchell. All right, so Kaufman penned the script along with Paul Richelt, that he also did with The Channel and Nightingale. So like I said, he's not just a director. Kaufman does it all. He writes the movies, and is able to direct them as well. So he has all of his hands into it as well. All right, so without further ado, here is the trailer for OSIRIS. Marvel at the awesomeness.
Here they come. Going high.
He's going hot.
Little sweet. They're on top of us. We can't stay here.
You know it's going to start with that big-ass bombastic action sequence. And then they get kidnapped by aliens, which will mess up your day.
But where the hell are we?
We're on a spaceship. That's never a good sign when you're screaming. Or that.
Say we get out of here right now.
That is good advice.
That is good advice.
Who are you?
Stay close.
Terracano with the Russian accent.
How do we know she's on our side?
Because she's human.
30 years. They collected us first. We're livestock.
Bummer.
What are they after?
They're hungry.
She's kidding, right?
No.
They will wipe out Earth.
Why don't we just take the fight to them?
All right, I'll admit it. I like it. We got company!
Much of that part of it. Oh, yeah. Can I just get an amen? Yeah, okay. So like I said, you watch that trailer and you're just like, yeah, I'm in. I was talking about the part at the end of the trailer when he shoots the alien flies backwards. It's like, that's how you know it's practical stunts. It's like there's a stuntman flying backwards. It's all good. It's super awesome, and you can't get enough of it. That's right. So like I was saying before, Kaufman, and I got a couple quotes from him. This was from an article in Variety when the movie was first picked up by Vertical for release. Kaufman was interviewed in the article, and he said working with Max Martini for a second time, which he did in The Channel, Linda Hamilton, Brianna Hildebrand, and the legendary creature effects maestro Todd Masters, along with the rest of our exceptional cast of crew to bring this old school action sci-fi thriller to life was just incredible. And then he added, we filmed the movie as practically as possible. Chef's kiss. From the aliens down to the set builds and stunts, all to stay true to the movies we love that we grew up on. We are thrilled to partner with Vertical, who is putting this movie out to reach a wider audience, and we appreciate and that will appreciate our approach to the movie. What else can you say? So again, here's the official. This is the key art. This just rocks. I love the red tinge. I love the alien in the background. You know, Max is front and center, and then you got Linda bringing cover 6 and Brianna Hildebrand in the back. And then so here's some. So this was the original image that was released when Osiris was first announced, of Linda Hamilton, to announce that she was in this movie, and everybody lost their collective shit. But I've since found some more of the cast and crew, and then here's Max sporting an awesome alien weaponry, and then here's the badass aliens themselves. I talk about how badass looking they were. These guys just look like some badass mofos. There you go. So here's the thing, and like I said, practical effects, practical stunts. How good is this movie going to be? Well, obviously, you know, there's going to be people out there. Oh, it's not that original. It's like, who cares? I am not looking for plot. The plot's good enough. Commandos are on a mission. They get sucked up by an alien spacecraft, and all of a sudden you got Predator looking aliens coming after them and wanting to eat them because they're livestock. You got Linda Hamilton, for Christ's sake, rocking a machine gun in a European accent. Max Martini looking like he always does, super cool and dapper. So how can you not love a movie like this? If you love this genre and you love the infusion of genres, you got action, you got military combat, you got sci-fi alien action. This one's going to check the boxes. It comes out July 25th, I believe. Let me double check my article. Yep. Vertical will release Osiris on July 25th. So lock and load for some brutal and unforgiving comment that's out of this world. I wrote that. Pay me later. All right. So that's what I got for this edition of Trailer Tactical. We got Osiris from director William Kaufman. He's done movies like the Marine 4 Moving Target, which was one of the best ones with Mike the Miz Mizanin, the WWE superstar who's an action star as well. One of the best Marine movies, had definitely the most action of all the Marine movies. And of course, he did the channel, like I said, with Max Martini and Clayne Crawford, a Heat style cops and robbers movie, which had a great shootout similar to Heat. And then, of course, he did Jarhead 3: The Siege, which unfortunately starred Scott Adkins, who died in the middle of it. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it by now, then you're not a Scott Adkins or military action fan, because you should have seen it already. Yes, he was killed in the middle of it. He was done in by an RPG after he sniped a lot of people. But that is what it is. I'm not gonna dwell on it. It's okay. He's allowed to die in movies. But just let him do some karate, though. That's what I said. I was like, you got to get a fight scene in there before you blew up. I get it. You probably didn't have enough time to film. You only had so many days that, you came on and stuff like that. But just get in that fisticuffs, damn it. All right, anyway, going back to Osiris, July 25th is the day. Check it out. I'm going to pre-order it. I'm, hopefully going to, I would love to do some interviews for this one. Definitely talk to William again, because I've talked to him in the past. So we'll see what happens. I can't promise anything, but, you always know your boy's on it. He's trying to do what he can. I rocked it with Diablo, man. Like, Diablo came out a couple weeks ago. I got Scott, Marco, Lana De La Rosa. I love saying her name. Of course, Ernesto, the director of the movie. I got them all interviewed. So that was pretty awesome. So check all that out on my YouTube channel, as well as the ACTION-FLIX website. All right. So July 25th, once again, Vertical is releasing Osiris. It kicks ass. You can already tell. You watch the trailer. You know it. You love these types of movies. You love it when there's like badass, really deadly, ruthless spec ops warriors, and they meet somebody even more ruthless and deadly and badass than they are, and it's awesome. And it's going to be a clash of the titans when you got the best that the humans have to offer and the best that aliens have to offer, I guess you could say. We win because it's gonna feature some of the best action, practical stunts, and practical effects that we all love from the movies that we got growing up when we were younger. So this is hitting that nostalgia button just a teeny bit. All right, so that's all I got for this edition of Trailer Tactical. Make sure you like and subscribe. So I'm gonna point up all my stuff. My channel, if you like my content, make sure you tell a friend, tell a family member, tell somebody, and then like this video, subscribe to my channel, so that way you get constant updates and everything. So make sure you do that, so that way you support me. Like I said, this is, I get a little bit of money, but there's no way I can support myself doing this. I would love to, but it ain't happen. That's why my real job always gets in the way. But like and subscribe. there you go. Trailer Tactical, OSIRIS. It looks kick-ass and out of this world. That's all I got for you guys today. Have a good one. And once again, be nice until it's time to not be nice. Catch you later.